Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you.
Hi, this is Chris Algieri.
Hey,
Hey,
this is Peter Kahn.
Hey, I'm with Chris Algieri, and hey, I'm not gonna say anything.
He always looks soft. I know.
Oh no! All
I
week,
said the
all
same
week
thing.
he's
I
been
said
talking
his
a lot.
Listen, is nice.
Listen. I asked him if the pants that he was wearing the other day come in men's.
I told him I had tighter. If he wants to see him, he could. But
All right, well, first and foremost, what are your thoughts on the stoppage? You know, a lot of people had predicted that the fight was going to end early, and it did.
yeah, I predicted round 4, but I also thought that Abdi was going to put up more of a fight. I thought he was going to trade punches. I thought that just from what I've seen in the past, and just from seeing him in the gym, like he's a tough guy. He's a strong guy, but I don't think he showed up tonight.
Billy Joe Saunders is next. It's official for May the 8th. Really good fight. A lot of people actually have Billy Joe probably being one of the most challenging stylistically
Yes.
for Canelo. What are your thoughts on that?
I did too, for a long time. I am very high on Billy Joe Saunders and have been for a long time. I think he's a very, very talented champion. I think stylistically he poses a lot of problems for Canelo in his style. Size, strength, physicality, I think he has all of those things. But I actually kind of have to go back and think about what I had said in the past. I watched a lot of his fights this week, just kind of preparing for this idea of this matchup which is going to happen. And I see a lot of flaws that fall right into the hands of Canelo in his style and things that he can take advantage of. So I may have thought that Billy Joe had a much better chance than he does than I think at this point. Not to say that he's not a very viable opponent. I think he's going to make it a fight. I don't think he's going to do what we just saw. He's going to fight. He's a true world champion. And he has a lot of talent, and he's a tough guy. He's got a punch, and he's slick. But I just think at the end of the day, a lot of the things that he does will fall into the hands of Canelo, and I see Canelo coming out on top of the fight.
Canelo had previously mentioned sort of the 2021 landscape for himself, right? So we know that,
4 fights.
yeah, but we also know that should he be successful against Billy Joe Saunders, who's next? Who's after that? Caleb Plant. If you had to compare the two, who would you consider to be more of a challenge for Canelo?
Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think his experience at the highest level. I'm high on Caleb Plant. I think he's a very good fighter. I think I like his style a lot. Great footwork, good boxer, awesome jab. Throws multiple jabs, which a lot of fighters don't do these days. Slick guy, but I've not seen him at the world-class level enough to think that he can elevate his stature to a Canelo-type level. Literally, Canelo is the pound-for-pound kingpin of boxing.
Right.
He is the best of the absolute best that we've seen in a very long time. So,
What do you make of people saying that Terrence Crawford is pound-for-pound #1 over Canelo?
there's an argument there. I think it's really difficult to do that when you look at the length of the top-end fighters that Canelo has been fighting, how many guys that he's fought, how many world champions he's fought. When you compare, apples to apples and apples to oranges, when you're comparing their records, it's not really an argument anymore. Terrence has not fought the high-level guys the way Canelo has over the years. So, but I do understand that his skill set is right there. And honestly, he could be as good, or if not better, than Canelo, but we haven't seen at the highest level. And at the end of the day, you have to do that. You have to prove it.
Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so by clicking this icon right here, or else